Hello, hello. Peace, peace, family. I hope everyone is doing well. I am here. I'm alive, and I'm happy to be alive. I'm thankful for my journey and where it has brought me today. This last month, hold on, let me put my window up because these birds chirping. Okay, so I just want to update you guys on some things that have been happening in my life. As you guys know, I started a new chapter living in my car, and I am exploring my soul and finding who I am and finding my purpose in this world and different things like that. And it's been a pretty lonely road, I was in Charleston, South Carolina, and that's where my kids are, and it was hard. It was very hard. At first, when I first got into my car, I had money, and I didn't know that the surgery that I needed after being in a car accident would take a year to heal fully. So the work that I was doing, I couldn't do anymore. I lost everything after being in a car accident and ended up living in my car. So, in the midst of that, when I first got in my car, I had money saved up. So it wasn't bad. There's a difference between being houseless and being homeless, okay? When I first started, I was houseless. I had money. So I was still able to, get the things that I needed, take care of myself, get a hotel if I needed to, whatever. But after a couple of months, money wasn't coming in. It was going. So it got rough. And again, the difference between being houseless and homeless is money. So me not having the money that I needed, I became homeless. And I ended up in the weather too. It got cold. So I ended up having to sleep in homeless shelters and, experience a life that I never imagined for myself. It was rough. It was very, very hard during that period. So being in and out of the homeless shelters, because it wasn't like a shelter that I could live in. It was a shelter, once it got 35 degrees, you can sleep there, right? So I'm sleeping in these shelters and not getting no income. I couldn't find a job that I could work. And it got rough. On top of that, I didn't have any support. I didn't have any friends or family. Nobody could help me. Nobody I could really talk to. And, dealing with things inside of myself that at the time I didn't recognize or understand. And so that led me to the hospital. For the 8th time, I ended up in the mental hospital because I lost myself. I lost myself again. And another part of me had to come through and kind of take over and save me from myself, because I wasn't really talking to anybody, and I wasn't really telling anybody the pain that I was going through. I was burying everything so deep. And like I said, I experienced psychosis again. Now, I truly believe that psychosis isn't just seeing things and hearing things. Like when I experience psychosis, it's literally another part of me that I can't control, that I don't fully know or understand, that comes through. It's like another self and I'm experiencing another reality, okay? And when I experience this other reality, I'm not alone. I'm not alone, and other people are there with me, and it's another world. And if you have experienced psychosis, it's an energy, right? It's a state of mind that you have to know how to control and understand. And if you don't understand it, you can go crazy. You can lose yourself, and that's when people start making their own sense of what they're experiencing. Hope that makes sense. The difference between the psychotic and the mystic is the psychotic drowns in the waters that the mystic can swim in. Okay? That's why I call myself Michaela the Mystic. I call myself the Black Mermaid because I swim in very, very deep waters. Now that part of my journey, ending up at the hospital again, I was in the hospital for 2 weeks. I honestly, I'm being real open right now, because Spirit, I feel like I need to, because I feel like I'm not just living for myself. I feel like my experiences aren't just for me. And even though, I'm experiencing life, I've experienced some traumatic things in the last few days. I'm kind of going through something right now. Spirit telling me not to hide from the world. I want to hide and I want to heal in the darkness. But if I'm supposed to be a light for others, then I have to learn how to do that. So I'm trying. And this journey led me back to Atlanta. And if you have been following my journey, 5 years ago, I left Charleston and came to Atlanta to try to start over. And I had to leave my kids. And so I had to leave my kids again this time, because I have some help in Atlanta. So I got some connections in Atlanta that I'm connecting with, and learning some things and building out here. And I want to explore not just Atlanta. I want to explore like the United States. I want to go where I'm called and learn what I need to learn. And this journey led me to an Indian temple in Atlanta. So I'm literally outside this temple right now. And it's very deep for me because, again, if you've been following my journey, I had a past life regression where my last life I believed that I lived was in India. So when I pulled up, I almost cried. I'm about to cry now because it's beautiful. I want to go to India. I will be going to India. You gotta speak it. I will be going to India one day. I want to travel the world. But anyways, I want you guys to see it, and I want to encourage others to follow your dream, man. Follow your passion and listen to yourself. And you don't know where it's going to take you. It's going to take you where you need to be, like for real. But this live, I want to talk about freeing yourself. Like I said, I feel like I ended up in the hospital because I was burying myself. I wasn't speaking my mind. I wasn't talking about my pain. I wasn't connecting with people. And I was drowning inside of myself, if that makes sense, And like I said, another part of me had to come through, and I kind of saved myself. And in the hospital, we called it Grippy Sock Land. But in the hospital, it's another world. When you go to the mental hospital, if you've been, it's another world, like for real. And I connect with people there. I connect with whoever I'm supposed to. And they understand me. And I connect, I meet my people. People I don't have to explain myself to. People I can talk to about my experiences with, and they understand, and they have experienced similar things, just like you guys. If you are watching this live, I'm sure there's something about my journey, the things that I talk about, that you can relate to or understand or connect with. And that's why I share my journey, and I share with people the things that I have experienced and I go through, so we can connect, because there's such a disconnect in this world between family and friends and you know, just with everything in life, man. Ourselves, we gotta connect, and you gotta start somewhere. So I'm starting with the man in the mirror, and I am connecting with myself, and I'm sharing my journey with people, with you guys, whoever's interested. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'm just trying to be me and live my life. So I can't take the camera into the temple. I can't film in there, but I'm gonna show you guys the outside in a second. It is beautiful. It's like I stepped into into India real quick. I'm so excited. But my message that I would like to deliver to anybody watching this video is to free yourself. Free yourself. That means as above, so below, as within, so without. So a lot of people are on spiritual journeys and they're connecting with things inside of themselves, but you're not being what you're connecting with. You're finding different parts of yourself. You're finding out all this information, but you're not living it. You're not living in your truth. And the strongest energy, the strongest force on this earth is authenticity. So you have to be authentic with yourself. Yeah, it starts with you. Stop trying to impress everybody around you. Stop trying to prove who you are to people. And settle inside yourself and be who you are. And then your people will find you. Your vibe attracts your tribe. So if you gotta cut some people off, you gotta cut them off, because that's not your tribe. If you gotta constantly explain yourself and somebody can't hear you, that's not your people. You on two different vibrations. Maybe they are. Maybe they were. But you're on two different vibrations now, and they can't hear you. They literally can't process your energy. And you're only hurting yourself by holding on to these people. I know, because that's what I was doing. I was hurting myself by holding on to what I thought people were, who I thought people were, who I wanted them to be. But life teaches you. Life will teach you the hard way if you don't listen to yourself. Like, for real. So, I am out here in Atlanta, living my best life. The only life I'm living right now. I believe we live multiple lives. This one right here, as Michaela, I'm going to make it my best life. And I'm starting with following my intuition, and I'm going on a hike tomorrow. I'm going into this Indian temple right now, and I'm so excited to connect with the energies here. Like, I'm going through a lot of pain. I really am. I had to leave my kids. I had to leave the reality that I thought I was living. But I was called out here to Georgia for a reason. And I'm trying to become the best version of myself that I can. I went to a church on Sunday, and I know the church is not for me. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with going to church or believing in Christianity. If you connect with that and that's what you believe, I'm not saying it, but it's not for me. So I did get into an argument with a woman in church on Sunday. And what happened was I had a moment. I was triggered, and I started crying because I was very frustrated with the pastor. It seemed like the whole thing was talking about money and how everybody needed to give money and to donate to these kids in Africa, and I'm like, there's kids literally around the corner on the street asking for money, and if I feel like the church really wants to help the community, really wants to help people, then you need to take this money and you need to go to these corners and ask these children, why are you standing on this corner asking for money? How can I help you? That's what I believe. And I'm frustrated because, I just came from a situation where I was living in my car and I felt like I didn't have any help. I felt like I didn't have any support. And honestly, realistically, if I was to walk into a church, how many people would give me money to help me in the moment? I have gotten help from strangers in the streets, in a grocery store. I got my oil changed Christmas time, and the machine was acting up, and for some reason it wouldn't take my card. And I was given a gift card because at this time I wasn't working, so I was having a hard time getting money. And so I was $5 short, and I was, Walmart doesn't take Apple Pay or whatever, so I was trying to transfer money here and there, whatever. It was taking a long time. Long story short, this man came and he was like, I got you. I'm going to pay for your oil change. And it was a miracle to me. It was a miracle to me. It was a blessing. And miracles like that happen out of the kindness of people's hearts. So if the church wanted to give to the community, just doing something, paying for somebody's oil change, taking the $40 that everybody is donating per child for these kids in Africa, collect the money and pay some light bills for some people. That's the miracles that need to be happening. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, I'm in church and I'm really frustrated. And on top of that, I had a lot of personal things going on with family members. And I started crying and I had to walk out the church because I'm emotional. I'm an emotional person. So of course, me crying, now people, they want to come, they want to comfort me. And this woman is telling me to breathe and hold and release. And of course, I'm very familiar with that. I'm a soul therapist. I do the same thing, but we all get in our moments. We all need help sometimes. So I'm telling this woman, I'm thanking her, and I'm telling her how I do the same techniques with people. Sometimes we all need help. And I'm telling her I'm trying. And she tells me, don't use that word. Don't say try, you do. So I asked her, I said, well, what do you do when you don't know what to do? And she tells me, well, you just wait. I guess you got to just stand and wait for God or whatever. But I told this woman that that's not what I believe. I believe that as long as you're trying, you're doing. So I have to try. If I don't know what to do, I'm going to try. And she's arguing with me, don't use the word. I don't like to use the word try because people, they say, I tried. Okay, yeah. But as long as you're trying, you're doing. The definition of the word is to make an attempt or effort to do something. Anyways, we go back and forth with this, over that or whatever. And she gets frustrated. I'm not arguing with you. And she walks off. But I said all that to say, you find your people by being yourself. Because now I'm having a conversation with somebody else, a like mind, and there's no problem, there's no arguments, we are in agreement, we understand, and there's no battles, because now I'm trying to tell this woman how I have been going through something, and I was living in my car, and I felt like these children that you guys are supposed to be sponsoring in Africa, I'm right here, I was right there in Charleston, and I needed help, you know, and it got into an argument, got pretty heated. But anyways, be yourself, man, be yourself, and your people will find you. I believe that. So now, me being myself, it led me to this Indian temple that I'm about to go in, and I'm gonna show you guys. It's beautiful. So let's go. Look at this Indian temple. Again, I can only show the outside because the cameras aren't allowed in there. But this is very deep for me because I feel like it's the start of my journey where I want to travel and see these sights and different things. And I want you guys to come with me. So when I go and I go to these unique places that I feel are of value to me, I'm going to turn the camera on and I'm going to show you guys. I want to go to like ancient sites. I want to go to the pyramids. I want to go everywhere. You feel me? So let's go. Now, hold on. Alright, it's beautiful. Look. Don't be afraid of new experiences, new things, new environments, new people. I'm gonna speak it. I'm imagining myself going to India and seeing the buildings and the architecture. Like, it's amazing. I'm so excited to learn and grow and free myself and be. Look at this, guys. Look. Look. Alright, I'm gonna zoom in because if you see the sign, I can't take this no photos or videos beyond a certain point, but this is right here in Atlanta, Georgia. A lot of people probably don't know about this. It's beautiful. I feel like I'm in India. I'm so excited to be here, and this is so deep for me. Oh my gosh. Look, guys, look. Isn't it beautiful? Somebody recording. I'm not gonna put them in my. But yeah. So don't be afraid. New experiences, meeting new people, traveling, listening to yourself. Do what you need to do for yourself. I hope you can hear me. I'm about to end this live and go in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being on this journey with me. And I'm so excited to share. Until next time, peace, love, and blessings.